Hey guys, it's ExandShadow, and welcome back to Let's Play Banjo-Tooie. In the last part, we got more into Grunty's Industries, and in this part, we're basically gonna finish up our initial exploration of the entire area. And by that I mean, well, we're not really gonna be making too much, like progress in this part. We are going to be making the entirety of the building relatively accessible for later collection, which is an important part of this level. And again, I covered this last time, but part of what makes Grunty's Industries one of the more annoying levels in the game is the fact that it takes so long to go places and do things. But so actually getting from place to place and opening up all the warp paths and stuff like that is actually a really important process. So I don't really recommend going to the different areas in Grunty's Industries too much at the very beginning. I recommend just going from floor to floor, getting all the warp pads, and then starting with the real sort of exploration of the area. Now, that's not to say that I recommend going beeline straight to each individual warp pad or anything. Stop to pick up notes and stuff so you don't have to do it later and things like that. But just don't make collecting everything your priority right now. I'd recommend just getting a feel for the area is probably the most important thing right now. Like, for example, here we're on floor 3, which is generally a cargo containment floor. This is just where they have boxes and boxes and boxes. And again, I really like that aspect of this level where, yes, it feels like an actual factory. Okay, a demon factory, but it doesn't just have random saw blades and conveyor belts and stuff. There's rooms where they keep all of their boxes. There's a boiler room. There's a waste treatment room. There's a trash compactor. Stuff that actually makes sense for this to be in a factory level is here, and it's in places that kind of sort of make sense in a way. I probably wouldn't pick the 3rd floor to store all of my cargo. I'd probably put that on the 1st floor, but you know what? I'm not going to criticize Grunty for her layouting skills when she, at the very least, made a factory that's not completely dysfunctional. What are you supposed to even make in the factory levels in the Donkey Kong Country games? Or is that factory just there to make more bad factory levels? I don't know. Anyway, it's important to take a quick detour to the boiler room at the very... not immediately when you go into floor 3, but, relatively soon into floor 3, because you're going to want to reach that little thing there with the screws on it. Basically, once you go to the area with the screws, the thing with the screws on it, you drill on all 4 screws. And you know that it's supposed to be something that you can mess with because it's just right there in the middle, and it's a full 3D model as opposed to a texture, so you know something's up with that. The game doesn't lock you out of information there or expect you to do something too cryptic in that section. So you have to drill on all of the individual screws to undo that, what the thing's holding up, and that's holding up a mumbo pad. And that mumbo pad is again important for the puzzle with the electromagnetic chamber, so it's important that you get that done as soon as possible. And again, it's another instance of the red tape, and I actually think the electromagnetic chamber puzzle is the worst instance of red tape in Grunty's Industries, because to even get started on that, you have to go to the boiler room and get the mumbo pad to go into the electromagnetic chamber before you can even start on that whole business. So yeah, we've got 1 step out of 13 done for that. Okay, maybe not 13, it's more like 6, but still, we've gotten started on it. Yeah. And also, whoever labeled these boxes, I don't know, I think they're a little bit more honest than I am, because I definitely wouldn't label my stuff old rubbish. And oh yeah, there's another instance where you can be sure that this game was made in England, because they say rubbish as opposed to old trash. Oh, you fancy schmancy English types and your weird words. Why can't you talk more American? Like me! Anyway, oh, is this the... Oh, that's the boiler plant entrance that you can only get to after using Wumba's transformation. So keep that in mind for later, but we can't do anything too much with it right now. Anyway, I should let you guys know that at this point in the playthrough, I was a little bit lost. And by that I mean I completely forgot what I'm supposed to do or where I'm supposed to go. There aren't too many levels in the game that gets me like that, but Grunty's Industries is definitely one of them, because you don't even know where to start. You know, like in all the other levels, I have a pretty good order set for what stuff I want to do and when, because, you know, it's just, I know what things are good for later parts of the level and what things should get done before other things. Like, for example, I brought this up in Pterodactyland, but I know that you need to take out Terry first in order to unlock access to other parts of the level. Grunty's Industries, I don't have nearly as well scorned into my brain, just because this isn't a level I really like to go back to very often. It's a level that you are going to have to take multiple trips to, just due to the nature of how the game works. But, when I was playing this game as a kid, I skipped all of the jiggies I could in Grunty's Industries. I only really ever gotten, like, 3 or 4 of them if I could help it. Mostly because a lot of the jiggies in Grunty's Industries are annoying. Yeah, I wander around aimlessly for, like, 10 minutes there because I had no idea what I was supposed to do. I was lucky I managed to run into those notes and into that honeycomb piece, because if that's the only reason why I was showing that random meandering about in the storage room. It was because I wasn't sure what pickups were there that I was supposed to get. And keep in mind, I do actually still have my Nintendo Power Guide to this game, so I wasn't even flying blind with it. Grunty's Industries just has that effect on you, you know, where you just can't remember where you're supposed to go. Which I guess is a good metaphor for working in a place like this in your real life, because, man, jobs like this where you just work in some dark, soulless building for your entire life just manages to, I don't know, it does stuff to you, man. I've seen some things. I've seen some things. Okay, but enough about my depressing normal life for right now. I do actually have a purpose right here, and it involves that boiler room that I was just talking about. I probably could have saved myself a little bit of backtracking if I had gone in as Banjo alone first, and then did the stuff that involves both Banjo and Kazooie after I had brought Kazooie back from backtracking. But you're going to need to get that battery from near Mumbo's hut and bring it over to this packing room over here in the back of the boiler room. I didn't even know that this place existed for the first few times I played the game, because this is one of the jiggies I skipped, just because it's sort of out of the way. It's, you know, it's not just in an out of the way room. It's in the back of an out of the way room, so it's not even something you go back to all that often. And yeah, it's getting to the point where trying to jump through that mess of boxes is obnoxious. So yeah, I'm cutting past all that whenever I get the chance. So you're welcome, guys. Just so you know, I hope you guys appreciate all the sacrifices I make for you. I had to edit that. That took like 10 minutes. Well, not even 10. That took like 2 minutes of my time to edit that up. You guys should be damn well thankful for my... Okay, yeah, this joke isn't funny. Moving on, minigame. Yes. You know how this song and dance works. You collect all of the greens and the blues you can, and then you try to drop them off. What's interesting about this minigame, though, is that the more things you collect, the slower you start to move. So, you know, you'll get weighed down by all the twinkly light bulb, whatever they're called, that you get. And so you're going to want to make occasional stops by the drop-by thingamahoosit, and drop it off so that your running speed doesn't take too much of a hit. Also, be smarter than I am and try to grab those speedy shoes earlier into the game than I did. Also, I just want to take a little bit of time to call attention to the lighting effects in this mission. Look at how awesome it is that all the colors like meld together. Like, you know, if a blue light bulb and a red light bulb are right next to each other, the light will actually turn purple. That is some really good lighting effects, better than some modern day games that I've seen. And I really just love to point out different sort of lighting effects whenever I run into them, because, you know, I feel like it's one of the most underappreciated aspects of graphical design. And, you know, ow, that hurt. What was I saying? Yes, okay. Lighting effects are one of the more underappreciated graphical things that goes into the making of a game's graphics, so I like to point that out whenever I get the opportunity to. Anyway, yeah, I did cut out more wandering because I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do, and there wasn't really a good edit point for when I made my way up to the 4th floor here, so... here we are, the 4th floor. This is the last area that you can really access through normal means. And by normal means, I mean, like, you know, going through the building. To get to the last area of the building, at the roof, you're really going to need to find the flight pad button, which is, if I remember correctly, on the 4th floor. So you need to find that and press it as soon as possible, because not only does that open up the top of the building for you, which is, you know, oh, see, it's right there. There's the flight pad button. This will open up 2 flight pads on the outside of Grunty's Industries, which, on top of opening up some stuff in the building itself, gives you access to the top of the building as Banjo-Kazooie. And normally, without these flight pads, you'd only be able to get there you'd only be able to get up there with Wumba's transformation. So, you know, that just makes things convenient in general. You don't really spend all that much time outside of the building. Like, you go, when you need to leave and come in, you go in from the outside of the building. But other than that, and in a few instances where you need to fly, you're spending most of your time inside Grunty's Industries, which I think makes sense, because, you know, the outside of a boring factory building isn't all that interesting, but the inside of a boring factory building is just as uninteresting, but more deadly. So, you know, that's nice, I guess. There are a few things that involve the outside, though, but we'll be getting to those as it becomes relevant. Also, here we have another puzzle that involves Mumbo, so we're actually going to be getting to using him relatively soon-ish. Not incredibly soon, but relatively soon-ish. This is one of the more annoying Mumbo levels where you have to switch between him and Banjo a whole lot, because, just because, you know, Mumbo, there's puzzles involving, well, I should say more timing challenges involving Mumbo this time around. And so it's just like you activate Mumbo and then you gotta do a little bit of a timing challenge. Both instances where you find Mumbo, I should add, which is ultra annoying. And god damn it, I fell off that thing again. I am not very good at this. But yeah, now that we've done that, we've unlocked pretty much every single, I should say, not really, we haven't unlocked pretty much every single warp pad, but we're about to, because now we're going outside the building to fly up to the top of the outside, which is nice. Also, I gotta say, I love Grunty Industries' music track. I think it's one of the, well, on top of just being a catchy piece like all the other tracks in the game, I think that why is this stuff immune to my Wonder Wing for some reason? It bugs me. It's just like, okay, I can go through all this other deadly sludge with Wonder Wing, no problem. But this deadly sludge, oh no, it's the deadliest of all deadly sludges. And why couldn't I make that jump? Anyway, I have trouble deciding whether or not I like the inside variation or the outside variation of Grunty's Industries theme the best. You know, I go back and forth a whole lot. Anyway, if you look on the side of the building, you'll see some of the windows are obviously 3D objects, and some of them are just textures on a flat wall. The 3D object windows can be destroyed with a well-shot grenade egg using the aerial A game. So what you're going to want to do as soon as you get the flight pad, is fly around the building and shoot all of the windows. There's generally at least one on every single side of the building, but I think there are occasionally more than one on every side of the building, so you're gonna wanna, like, keep your eye out, just sort of fly around and see if you can find all of them, because there is stuff to get inside every single cracked window. Well, not cracked window, but glass window instead of a boarded up window. So you are going to want to go after those whenever you get the chance. And the chance is now, so go after them now, because I said so, because I am Ted, and Ted is awesome. Oh yeah, that's the floor 1 entrance that I forgot to press the button for earlier in the level. Now I simply just walked right past the button, which was dumb of me. And there I was looking at the guide to make sure that I knew exactly what windows I could and could not break. I think there's like 3 or so windows that you can break on the sides of the buildings. I don't really remember. I lied though, that one side of the building that we were just facing didn't actually have any windows for us to shoot. This one does though. So I guess, ow, bad me. Bad me. I guess, you know, flying face first into a window probably wasn't my smartest idea, but shooting myself with a grenade egg, that's actually painful. You know, don't like getting shot in the face with a grenade egg. Not my favorite thing. Gonna be honest there, guys. Here is, if I remember correctly, the only other instance of this bill drill screw thingamawhatsit. And you need this in order to do the Skivvy Workmates mission that will be taken care of later down the line. And again, it's obnoxious because in order to get like nearly every single one of these Skivvy Workmates, you got to do another like red tapey sort of thing. Like to get the one on the, I think it was the second floor, we had to open up that button, and in order to get this one on the first floor, we need to drop that thingy, whatever that thing is, but we have to drop it. So yeah, it's just so much red tape in this level. Why couldn't it be a different color? You know, blue tape would be nice. You know, they use that for like different sort of things. Or no, I don't know. Electrical tape's a little bit too hard to like peel off. And you know, duct tape, that would just be impossible to cut through because it would take freaking forever. And I don't know. Scotch tape would probably just be too easy to cut through. You know, it's just like oh, Scotch tape. Oh, you really broke the budget for that one, didn't you? And yeah, here I'm just backing up so I can get a better view of the windows and the building as a whole. Because sometimes, I think at that point I had forgotten which windows I had shot and which windows I had not shot. So, you know, sometimes it just takes, it's a good idea to just take a step back, both literally and metaphorically, and, you know, try to see what's going on. Anyway, there's two other things on the ceiling, top roof, that we're going to want to blow up. One is that hole right there, and the other is that glass window that's right down there. The glass window, ow, you could conceivably break open with like a normal attack just by getting on top of the window, on top of the roof there. Sorry, I keep on saying window when I'm supposed to be saying roof. But you could also use a normal attack to break that, so you know, I guess that's an okay choice if you want to make that choice and stuff. But if you blow up that thing on the chimney and you drop down here, you'll get this Jinjo that you couldn't normally get in the boiler room. And that's pretty nice, I suppose. So yeah, sweet, we got that. Awesome. Next time on Let's Play Banjo-Tooie, I know I'm starting this a little bit early, but I forgot to do it entirely last time. We're going to explore more of Grunty's Industries. I'm ExandShadow, and I'll see you guys later.